Today I'll show you guys how
Oh
to
my.
become a good middle in a volleyball game, also known as AVG. And to become a good middle, you need to have two things: good spiking and good blocking. Now, to have good spiking, you need to have variation of powers. Because if you use the same power over and over again, the other blocker and the other team, they will receive and block you every single time because you're doing the same stuff over and over again. So to have a good variation of powers, I recommend having a few slow powers, a few normal powers, and a few fast powers. Um, a slow power I highly recommend is 3JW because let's say the blocker keeps like pre-blocking your quicks, right? Then you can use 3JW. This is a very like common occurrence, like for the blocker to pre-block you. So 3JW is a very good power to use because then you basically have a free court like that.
Huh.
You have a free court and yeah, and then you can just aim wherever you want, just abuse whoever you want, however you want. And also you can use this to dunk as well. If the cell's a bit higher, I think. There you go. Yeah. Now we're gonna move on to normal powers. By the way, like, I'm just gonna give you like a very standard powers for now. But like, you guys should go like lab with your friends and see like what powers are good for you. Try have like a few of each powers. So yeah, we're gonna move on to normal powers now. And the normal power I highly recommend is 7J. This is a good power to see like how the blocker. So this is a good power to use at the start to see how the blocker blocks, how the back row drifts, moves, and stuff like that. It's basically like a good power to analyze. So let's say Jim has back row, and I see him. I just do a spike for now, just a normal spike. I see him drift in mid longs. So now I know that he drifts mid longs, so I can just abuse his lines now. Abuse his lines more and more. So yeah, this is a very good analysis power basically. And come block real quick. And you can also use this for blocking. So let's say you go here, I see that he's not blocking the quicks. Then I can just spike the quicks. And let's say he starts blocking the quicks, then I can try to delay around him and stuff like that. So analyze your opponents, see how they see their pattern, see how they block, see how they receive, see how they move, everything. And that's how you become a very good middle. Another good power to use, I'd say 8J mid. This is a very standard power for middles to use. I'm just pause real quick and get the power right real quick. Alright. Now the reason why 8J mid is a very good power to use is because it's very hard to block and it's very quick. So two spots I highly recommend are cuts on both sides, so left cut, right cut. And yeah. Like it's very hard to block, like, and even if they do block, there's a high chance that you can tool them. As you can see, it's very fast and very hard to read. But let's say A is getting red. Let's say it's like they're receiving it quite a lot. Then there's a big chance that they're just drifting, so you can abuse the Pandora's here. Yeah. So go. Can you go outside real quick? Receive us outside. Actually try receive me. Don't just like yeah. As you like, it's very hard. It's very hard to receive like both. So that's why it's a very good power to abuse. But I have to say one thing: if you aim like here or here, they do get blocked quite a bit. So do ask for covers. Now we're gonna move to fast powers. Fast powers I recommend are 10J. And the reason why I recommend this is because if the blocker keeps blocking around the middle, so let's say he only blocks like around here, then you can use this to basically just go outside of his range and just aim wherever you want basically. Let me make a spawn because it's a bit far away. Like that. And another power I recommend, it's very risky to use, but it scores a lot, is 15J. And I only recommend aiming shorts because because it's very effective on shorts. Like basically always aim here. This spots always work every single time. And if you see them start drifting, then just aim somewhere else, like here or here. Basically, it's a very good power in general to use. A power that I personally like to use a lot is the 9J second mid. And this is because let's say you're using 8J mid, right? So this will basically just be built off the normal power. You basically just want to incorporate everything together. So let's say I'm using 8J mid. I'm aiming cuts and the consistent receiving it now. And now I realize that they're drifting. So I can use 9J second mid, aim around and basically just go around it. Basically aim away from them. Oh wait. Like that. Well, of course aiming, but yeah, you know what I mean. Now we're gonna move on to slides. And the reason why slides are very good is because traditionally the middles get set to the left side. So if you just switch up and set to the right side, it's very unexpected of you, and they will score a lot more. And a power I highly recommend, it's a 6JW slide, because it's very quick, and you can basically just aim like here. I recommend aiming here, mid, long, and lines. And this will be more likely to work if your upper's back row, because your upper like can't LF, he can't jump here. So if you take his place and jump here, they most likely won't expect it, and you can score a lot more. And another slide power I highly recommend is 3 ground slide. And this is very good for aiming behind. This you can just aim wherever you want, but I highly recommend aiming behind setter, because even if they block you, then you'll most likely get a tool. And you wanna have like a low airtime. So behind there. Mid longs are very good on this. And yeah, that slide's done. Blocking, there's 2 ways to block. There's read blocking and guess blocking. And JMap, use any power you want. What power do you
want? Give me AJ mid.
AJ mid?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make it a bit lower for you. Okay. So how read blocking works is you wait for it to go to the spiker. So as you can see, I'm gonna wait. I see him jump and then I jump. Like it's very like reaction based. I'll just do one more spike and then I'll move on. As you can see, so as soon as I see him jump, I jump. But the pros of this is you have very consistent blocks. Like overall, you have very consistent blocks, and even if you don't manage to block it, you majority of the time you have 1 touch if you do it correctly. But this is very prone to decoys. So if they can do like an outside play or something. Now I recommend to read block, you need to have like low ping and very like fast reaction time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how you read block. And now guess blocking. Guess blocking is in the name. You literally just guess. You guess where the ball's going. So let's say I think it's gonna be a quick. So I just jump, but he ends up delaying. So you just need to like to be good at guess blocking. You need to have like good pattern recognition basically. So see like how the setter sets. So if he sets like if the setter does a 1 pattern, like he sets middle twice, outside once, and upper once. So basically just block accordingly to that. And on top of that, you want to see how like the middle spikes, like if he does quicks and delays, see how many times he does each things. There'll be a pattern like eventually. There's always a pattern. So yeah. The reason I'd say blocking is more important than spiking, because with blocking it literally dictates like how your team will receive. Oh wait, initial thingy. And with that, if he consistently blocks it and I want to quick, I can't aim mid longs. I'm basically forced to aim like away from here. He's blocking this entire area. So this will like dictate how your team will like how good your team will receive, because he's cutting down the pathway of which the ball can go in. And now we'll move on to builds. Builds are important, guys. Builds are most like personal preference, but I'll teach you. I'll just say the meta builds right now. This is one of the meta builds: 6-4 cannon arms. I'd say be at least above 6-3 for middle, so you can hit the ball high, and also you can block a lot better. Unless you're going for a spec such as Hinata, then you need to be a lot shorter. So if you're not going for a spec, I highly recommend being above 6'3", like 6'3" or above. Now the meta builds right now for your traits are cannon arms, because it makes your ball faster. It gives you 15.5 power. That's the reason I use it. Airborne is the trait that makes you jump higher. Blocking expert because it makes your block hitbox bigger, so you get more blocks. And yeah, those are the 3 meta builds right now. And then the other builds I recommend using if you're good with it are probably springy legs, because even though on paper it doesn't give that much of a buff, those split seconds can like make a difference. Another one I recommend is defensive killer, and the reason is if you know how to tool consistently, then defensive killer will be really good for you. And giant arms, so it gives you more top hitbox if you like to dunk, or if you just like having that extra top hitbox, you know. And yeah, that's a middle guide. That's it. Make sure to lab with your setter, and make him accustomed to how you like the board to be set. Make sure to have multiple variations of each power. Make sure to practice your blocking. See which blocking style suits you more, and test around each build. There are codes. I will link the Trello in the description below. And yeah, that's it.